morning, everyone. This is Juliana, and I have a project that I would like to share with you. This is a nature-themed journal that I have made as a gift to my friend Jeri Bellini. She has a YouTube channel, and I'll post it below after the video. You might want to go check out her. Well, actually, you should definitely go check out her YouTube channel and check out her Etsy store because she sells amazing things that you can use to create great journals. So I chose this is an altered book journal, and the book itself I bought last year in the spring of 2018 when I went to Portugal. So on the front is some Portuguese writing. It says Rao de Sol, which means rays of sun. And you got this little girl with a bouquet of flowers. The book cloth, I used a yellow fabric, and on the spine I have stitched in along the binding buttons, vintage buttons of different colors. So there's a hitch post closure, and let's go inside. So some of the ephemera comes from my stash and some Jeri had sent to me. So there's a library pocket here on the left on the book, was it the bookend page, and it's got a library card. On the first page, I like to use a lot of authentic vintage ephemera in my journals. I try to whenever possible. I find that it just like adds an extra special touch to the images. To the journal, excuse me. So this is an actual label from a can of beets, I'm thinking, and Jeri sent this to me, and I just love it so much, and I used it because it's, vegetable and nature and that kind of thing. There's a butterfly up here. So I'll try to go through this quickly. This is a tulip, photograph of tulips on vellum that I printed on vellum. This up here says welcome. This is a botany image, botanical image from a Russian botanical book that I purchased off of Etsy. This is a letterhead paper that I purchased from Gail. Everyone knows Gail. I think her last name is pronounced Agnolistini. I'm not sure. Sorry, Gail. But I love this paper. I bought a bunch from her. I'm always looking for vintage ephemera that is a little unusual. So in here, some extra little goodies for Jeri. And here is an arithmetic page that I sewed. It's a journaling card, but it's it's from an arithmetic book from the turn of the century. I think it's might even be from the late 1800s, and I sewed this image of butterflies on it. make sure I'm in screen here. And here is a vintage image from a bird book. This little birdie with his mouth open, and then a journaling card of these two children. It's a pretty well-known image, and honestly I can't remember whose drawing it is. This is from an insect, a vintage insect book. This image of these bugs. Over here, more bugs that I have tacked down to some scrapbook paper. And over here is a big pocket with a flower inside. This is a letter with some floral stamps, some ruffled tissue paper that I dyed pink. Here is some heavier weight paper. Another botanical image from a Russian book, and it flips up. And then there's this sweet bee. I just recently purchased a stamp. I really like it. I'm still trying to get my stamping skills together. I find it really difficult, and if anybody has any, like, you know, suggestions, you can leave them below. I really would love to know. Anyway, this is really fun. This is, Jeri sent me this in a package, and it's an actual savings book, I guess, you know, in which, you know, people used to, well, I remember, have their balance put in, and to it I sewed this Victorian image from, it's an authentic image from a Victorian fashion magazine from like the 1850s. And inside, if you can read this, I hope it goes into focus, it says butterflies and moss. And so I sewed in on each page butterflies and moss. Yeah, little extra goodie. And then there's this beautiful, this is a journaling card, this beautiful image of this young girl with her dog. This is a time card with a flower sewn to it. I hope this is coming in focus. And this is from a floral book, and I turned it into a side pocket. And this image is two twins, Victorian twins, I suppose. And at the top it says create. And I made that little create thing myself. I try to stitch things on as much as possible because I think it really just adds another element to the journal. It gives it some texture. Some cherries. Some Tim Holtz ephemera, little birdies. This is from a vintage floral book. More tulips. Craft paper. A beautiful butterfly. Another beautiful butterfly. A beetle stamp. And then this lovely image of these two girls in the garden. This is a fourth signature and last signature. This is a, what are these called? God, it's slipping my mind. Anyway, I forgot. You know, cards for learning. Anyway, it just says lake, so I sewed it to the front page, the first folio of the signature. This is from a vintage Soviet etymology. Is it etymology? It's a insect book. I always confuse. Etymology is, it could be the study of words. Forgive me, I can't remember at this moment. This is an index card with a Citroen that I stamped on it. I carved that stamp. It's a vintage French card, basically. This is a vintage card of a bird. It's a hairy woodpecker. And this is a double pocket. This is a vintage postcard I bought while I was in Italy a couple years ago. And this is a larger journaling card of a gardener. It says gardener in French. This is, if you can, it's pretty bright, the light. So this is from I believe a calculus, it's vintage notebook, belonged to my father-in-law. A floral stamp, it's really pretty. We can get it to focus. Sorry folks if it's not focusing. More of that writing. And the little girl holding flowers. Music paper. Little die cut sewn. This is a hen. That's from a book from a children's book from the 1800s. And that is the end of my book. So it's been a long time since I've made a video, and I have quite a few new journals that I'm going to be sharing with you. I just need to make some videos. I'm starting to do fairs, and so unfortunately I'm not selling these in my store, but I would like to share them with you. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, please just let me know in the comments below. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.